Welcome to Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. This series will conclude our journey into the Dishonored franchise for now. Bethesda hasn't said that they intend to continue the Dishonored franchise, apparently because of poor sales of this very game. But I think I and many others hope that they will relent on that decision and that we will see a Dishonored 3 sometime in the future. Anyways, always presenting the small enigmatic twists to the story, in Death of the Outsider we get to play as Billie Lurk, who we got to know in Dishonored as one of Daud's trusted assassins, and also in Dishonored 2 under the alias Megan Foster. As I've mentioned earlier too, the playing on low chaos seems to be the canon decision, as Billie has both her arms intact, which means that either Emily or Corvo, depending on who actually went up against Delilah, did the good choice back in Aramis Stilton's manor, thus restoring the timeline to a happier timeline. That is, relatively speaking, of course, compared to the High Chaos choice, which would not have restored her arm, nor would she have regarded us in a friendly-ish manner at the end of Dishonored 2. Much like Samuel in Dishonored 1, who says that he hopes to never see Corvo again if Corvo has gone on a murdering spree through Dunwall, when he takes him out to the lighthouse. However, I'm going to play Death of the Outsider on High Chaos, as I do lack the achievements for the High Chaos playthrough. If there is interest in seeing the Low Chaos ending, however, I could record the ending of such a playthrough and release it in a separate episode after these series on High Chaos are done. I doubt there would be much interest in seeing the game twice, as the differences between High Chaos and Low Chaos, the levels are the same, so yeah. That being said though, Death of the Outsider has a very different system than the one that we are used to from the other Dishonored games. We will have all our powers from the very beginning of the game's second mission. Runes are not a thing, and the mana bar is also quite different, but we'll get back to that when we actually get our powers, as we will not have them in the first mission. Now, as you can probably recall, when I played Dishonored 2, I did the New Game Plus. In Death of the Outsider you have Original Game Plus. What this does, unlike in Dishonored 2, is not offer us any advantages such as bone charms, blueprints, or runes, given that runes aren't even a thing here, that wouldn't even make sense. But what it does in this game is that it actually replaces Billie's default powers with powers that we are used to from the original games, thus Original Game Plus. Since I need certain High Chaos achievements that can only be done with Billie's original powers, and also it's fun to show off Billie's powers as they are different, we will play the game on a regular new game. So, thank you all so much for following these series this far, and I hope that you will enjoy this series as much as the previous ones. Feedback and comments are always as welcome as they are in any series I make. And with that, let's dive into the game. We'll play on medium. One last fight. You're on the lookout for your old mentor, Daud, whom you've not seen in 15 years. Rumors speak of a clandestine boxing club that uses black magic and bone charms at the Albarca Baths. Could he be there?
My name is Billie Lurk, though there aren't many people who remember. For years, I stayed hidden, captain of a ship called the Dreadful Whale. I was a smuggler, fence, and maybe traitor, depending on who you ask. Our names are always overshadowed by the words whispered after them. If you hide from the world long enough, eventually nobody remembers you. Then you're alone, living with your choices. But I could never forget the man who pulled me up from nothing. Daud, the Knife of Dunwall. A name called out by the desperate or the dying. The assassin who ended one empress and saved another. Shame burns inside you for a long time. When I betrayed Daud, he let me live. I left Dunwall and my own name behind. For years, I wondered if I was worth forgiving. For years, I laughed at myself for even wanting a killer's forgiveness. Sometimes mercy cuts deeper than any knife. Now I know that forgiving is something you do for yourself as much as for the people who hurt you. I know Daud is in Karnaca, and I'm going to find him. Every night for weeks, the same terrifying dream. A street fight, my arm dead and lying in the gutter, my eye gouged out by a Grand Guard sword. But when I wake up, they still hurt for hours. Gives me the creeps. This always brought me a little comfort. You stole this for me, didn't you, Deirdre? Now it's all I have left of you. Another relic from the old days. Still holds an edge, at least. That boxing club in the Albarca Baths is my last lead. Daud has to be there.
And here we are. As you can tell from what she says, even the DLCs should be played on low chaos, since when I played the DLCs, I killed Billy. But, yeah. Okay, so there are many things here. Let's start with the trouble log. Forgiven. I wouldn't have blamed Emily for killing me then and there. Bring down an empress and everything gets thrown into chaos. A lot of people got hurt, but it was worse than that, wasn't it? I helped kill her mother. That's 2 times I was spared, but at least I got to put it right. Is this how Daud feels? My dreams are getting worse too. Stronger. Sometimes I stare at my right arm like it shouldn't be there, and my head hurts like I'm blinded by blood. I started to write it all down, just to keep a handle on it. 2 weeks until I'm back in Karnaca. The longest 2 weeks of my life. If I even make it, the engine is rattling bad. My old self again. It felt good to say the name. Even better to hear it. And now it's on every corner of Karnaca. Wanted, Billie Lurk. I've been sending out messages to my contacts in the city, following up on sightings and rumors. But nothing yet. I even listen to the rats. Sometimes they know things others don't, and their voices remind me so much of Deirdre. I found the old man's wanted poster in a trunk. Now, I'm looking for Daud, just like all of Dunwall was several years ago. Hope I have more luck than they did. A long shot. One last lead, an underground boxing club of all places. Daud could be fighting there. Maybe another dead end, but I have to be sure. I tried to pump out the engine room, but no use. My ship's dead in the water. Megan Foster would have been furious, but I'm not. I've got other things to care about now. Then we have these two. This is a very interesting thing in Death of the Outsider. It's a system called contracts. So we get 2 contracts for this upcoming level. Burn the White Hound. An eyeless hag stole my poor Milky. He's white as whalebone but riddled with the disease. It breaks my old heart to ask this of you, but if you find my Milky, please put him out of his misery and burn his remains. Save him from those cursed eyeless and save Karnaca from another plague. And this will give us a reward of 450 coins. Then we have industrial espionage, also 450 coins. Those thugs at the Albarca make potions and bone charms upstairs. Their liquor is vile, but it sells for good coin, and we're losing punters to them by the day. Bring us the rat liquor recipe before our brewery goes out of business, and make sure to destroy their stock while you're at it.
Burglary, spying, picking pockets. Daud taught me more than just killing. It can keep me afloat. For now.
Sokolov establishes studio in Tivia. Renowned natural philosopher and painter Anton Sokolov returned to Tivia this week after years of retirement in Karnaca. Sokolov, whose inventions and technological marvels are famed throughout the Isles, was greeted with the fanfare and panoplied due a national hero. A parade in his honor culminated in a festival on Mastrov Square in Dabovka, where Sokolov gave a brief speech announcing the establishment of his studio. When asked about his future plans, the inventor responded, "I've already done enough for several lifetimes." The inventor was overwhelmed by the infernal noise of the parade and left the celebration early. He gave no indication whether or not his studio will accept apprentices.
Good to see the old man made it up north. I was lucky to know him. I wonder what poor soul is dealing with him now.
Empress Emily Caldwin moves to heal fractured empire. Renovation projects in the Tower District are finally underway as the last funeral rites were performed for High Overseer Yul Kulan and the Brothers of the Faith who died in an attempt to retake Dunwall Tower from the now deposed usurper Delilah Copperspoon. The Abbey of the Everyman has spent the last several months consecrating and interring the remains of the fallen, while also removing dangerous and heretical objects from the Imperial Palace. Well, they didn't remove the Empress. With representatives from the Isles beside her, Empress Emily Caldwin issued a statement yesterday morning urging unity in the wake of this great tragedy. The Empire's strength is in its diversity of thought and action. Working together, there is nothing we cannot accomplish. We are pleased to reassert our partnership with the sovereign nations of Morley, Sorkonos, and Tivia for our mutual peace and prosperity. Following these proceedings, several imperial proclamations have been issued with the aim to restore trading networks and communication across the Isles. Several large-scale public works have been announced, with architectural firms in Sorkonos and Morley already competing for the commissions.
So, Her Imperial Highness is back on the throne. If she knew what I was doing now, she'd probably try me for treason. Is this what you would have looked like, my sweet Deirdre? I would have died soon after you, if it hadn't been for Daud.
Okay, now the ship is slightly changed. Here's a map.
I've been searching for months. I know you're here, Daud. Somewhere.
We're going to the Campo Seta district, to the Albarca Baths.
Everyone in Dunwall was afraid of him then, but not me.
30,000 coins.
That club is run by a gang that call themselves the Eyeless. They claim to fight using black magic. If that's true, then Daud might be involved.
Eyeless remain eyesore for our city. 2 raids by the Grand Guard occurred last night, resulting in few arrests as investigations continue into the activities of the gang known as the Eyeless. Both raids were conducted on derelict warehouses in the Campo Seta dockyards. Several shipments of whalebone were found at both scenes, along with many carved talismans familiar on sailing ships. These trinkets, marked with strange insignias, were collected along with various unidentified powders, noxious plants, and vials of unknown liquid. Though these items add credence to rumors of black magic being practiced by the Eyeless, the Grand Guard has not called for overseer support. Roving Vice Overseer Cardoza of the Abbey of the Everyman, when reached for comment, stressed the spiritual dangers of carved bone charms, and, if found, to bring them directly to your nearest Overseer outpost for inspection and disposal. He gave no further remarks on the Grand Guard's ongoing investigation. Notes about Albarca baths. Went to see old Madge again, traded some old whalebone and a bit of hair, not mine, for information. She's making charms for the Eyeless now. Good clients, pay regular. Left before Madge tried to pick my pocket. Some witches from the Royal Conservatory joined the Eyeless. Powerless now. None from the Brigmore days who would remember me at least. No reason to think they'll look twice if I go in like anyone else. Are these people just messing around, or is there something I'm not seeing? I think I lost my pocket knife. Madge? Curse that old woman. Can't know if Daud's at the Albarca baths until I go check it out for myself. Last lead I got.
Daud's had the mark of the outsider in his hand for as long as I've known him. I've gone through every gang-infested slum asking after this, and no one would tell me a thing.
Reply from Isabel. Megan, you must be pretty desperate if you're writing to me about this. Yeah, I saw him. He set up a meeting to buy some of those funny explosives that fell off the back of a carriage a few months ago. I waited for him, but he never showed up. Sorry I can't be of any more help. I haven't seen or heard from him since. Put me in a real bind. Isabel. Also, hey, you were kind not to mention it, but I didn't forget I still owe you that case of fig wine after what happened last time. Give me 2 more months and I'll swear I'll get it to you.
Karnaca is full of secrets. If I have any clues about where Daud is, it's because he let me find them.
Then we have a reply from Kitterick. Dearest Megan, what an intriguing message. Who's this then? An old lover? Forgive me, but he doesn't really seem your type. But, if you must, I heard a rumor a few months ago from some gentleman that a man looking like that had been spied with those bizarre eyeless. I filed that piece of gossip away just in case it was important. Lucky you. When are you coming back here? Make it soon. We miss you. We have some of that tobacco you like stored away just in case you visit. Loving you always, E.V. Kitterick. And finally we have a reply from T. Billy, or Megan, or whatever you go by these days. I don't know anymore. It was easy to pretend we didn't know each other when you were Megan. We agreed to respect both our new lives and not dredge up bad memories. So, what are you doing? Yeah, I saw him 2 years ago here, in Karnaca. He even asked after you. I said I hadn't seen you since that night in the flooded district. I'm sure you know why I lied. He never stopped killing, you know. He's got the same old grudges. I just hope, yet you're not one of them. T. Okay, so that's quite a bit of reading done. There's a picture of Billy and Aramis Stilton, interestingly enough. They seem to have been good friends back then, when she was Megan. Then we have some crumpled notes. Terrible dreams. These are the strongest they've ever been. Feels like I'm really dying each time. I'll be in some alley in Karnaca, the sleeve of my coat soaked to the shoulder in blood, half blind, face split open like a river crust. Thieves waiting to check my head for gold teeth and grab a better pair of boots. Or the Grand Guard. Swords bloody, laughing as I die. It's a little different every time, but not by much. When I wake up I look in the glass just to make sure my eye is where it was the night before. And who in the Isles has to check to make sure their own damn arm hasn't been hacked off in the night? Ridiculous. I'm running low on tobacco with how much I've packed my pipe the nights when I can't sleep. Don't know what I'd do when it's gone. So the timeline restoration seems to have some lingering effects. Deirdre in my dreams. Last night I fell asleep holding the charm Deirdre gave me. I remember her picking some rich man's pocket for some coin or a watch, and instead she pulled out this thing, dead and humming. She bundled it up in a braid of her own hair and gave it to me for luck. But it wasn't luck that made the rat start talking. It was only after Deirdre lay dying that it started whispering her sweet voice to me. I dreamed her in patches, red hair peeping out of her baker boy hat, those sharp eyes. The quickest hands in Dunwall. We used to lie together, and the feeling of her fingertips across my skin would be the only thing in the world to me. I'd close my eyes and nothing else would matter. But in the dream, she looked at me like she'd been alone so long she couldn't even recognize me. I reached out and my arm was gone, and I could barely see her through the blood and pain. So far away, and me half missing. It was an older wound that hurt this time. When I woke up, I was alone again. I don't know what I expected. I've been alone on this ship for weeks. Nobody but me and the rats that chew up the wires in the engine room, and they then tell me, with a laugh. So, Billie has the power/ability to speak to rats. It hurts to write. I tried to have a dreamless night by drinking some of that foul liquor Anton left behind, but the dream came anyway, and now my head hurts like I bashed it against a wall. The sea's choppy this morning too. Just my luck. I'd been in some nasty spots in the past, but I never had to pinch my own face shut or watch my hand twitch in the street. So why do I keep dreaming it? Every time it feels more like a memory than anything else, and it's getting worse. I'll have the dream, and the fingers on my right hand are stiff for hours in the morning, and I can barely tie a knot, and my right eye will go blind without warning. I don't know what to do. If I tell anyone about it, they'll just think I'm drinking Anton's liquor every night. I'm throwing the rest of that bottle overboard. The dream again. It was the Grand Guard. I know it this time. A fight I couldn't handle. A misstep, a mistake. An eye cut open and a sword arm lying in the street. Me, not even half myself, staggering through Karnaca, trying to tie off a tourniquet with my teeth. Pulling with all my strength as I feel each heartbeat shudder a little slower, a little weaker. When I woke up, my right arm was numb right up to the elbow, and my right eye stung as bad as the time Anton tried to cook hot peppers on the griddle in the galley. It's like my mind's playing tricks on me. It takes me a while every morning to know what's real. So yes, indeed.
The engine is shot and half the ship's in an inch or more of seawater. These are the dreadful whale's last days.
Then we have an abandoned letter to the Empress. Your Imperial Highness, thank you for the gift while your generosity is. To Empress Emily Caldwin, I don't want your coin. Lady Emily, I can't take your coin after what I did. I'm trying to find a way to make peace. Dear Emily, I wish to do mend vest, seal hatch, bullets, whiskey. There's a book, The Knife of Dunwall. Excerpt from a penny novel. I think we have read this one in Dishonored 2. In one of the apartments where there was a bloodfly nest keeper. I'm pretty sure we read this there. Okay, so the ship is more or less just battered down. There isn't really much we can do here. Just having a look around. Okay, so this is the way we're supposed to go.
This station hasn't been used for years. Hiding the dreadful whale wasn't easy, but it's safe so far.
So the rats...
What can you tell me today, my little gutter friends?
They will run away if we get too close, so... There.
The friend listens. The friend hears us. One of us. But ugly and big. Still friend.
So there you go. Instead of a heart, we can talk to rats. Isn't that lovely? Don't think there's anything of interest here. Nope, let's just jump on the carriage. And go to the Albarca Baths.
All right. The old Albarca Baths shouldn't be far.
Okay, now we have the stun bolt, which is an electrical burst, and we have the voltaic shot, which is the standard ammunition. I'm going to start remapping them right away. Someone seems to have tried to perform a ritual here. Unsuccessful, I should add. Fidelia's Journal. Second Earth. I tried the old incantations over the teeth and strings like before, but it didn't work. It always used to work. Is the magic really gone? I heard about a gang from one of my sisters. She said they do things like what we had together. I don't know where else to go. 27th of Earth. The Islas might be content with scratched up bones and rat liquor, but I'm not. I tasted the dark waters of the void with my sisters. I know what it feels like to turn the things you hate to ash, and watch bright flowers bloom from the cinders. These people don't know real magic. 7th of Nets. I think I found a way. If I can snatch one of the stray hounds off the street and steal some carved whalebone, I might be able to get back a glimmer of my power. I know what words to speak over it. I just hope the outsider listens. The 10th of Nets. I used to raise dead hounds from the earth to stalk shadows and tear my enemies to pieces. And now, I watched the life run out of this wretched creature. Its heart shuddered and stopped, and I felt nothing. Just pity. It's gone. So, the witch didn't have any luck with her ritual.
It's not quite the old life, but it feels good. I wonder if Daud has seen these.
Huh. Do you guys have anything to tell me?
This must alarm dark. Reeks of drink, dark blood of your screaming kin hunts us. His night is fast.
Okay, well, copper wire, but other than that, the room seems pretty quiet. There's a guard. And now there's not. Let's dump him in here. So we're... I need to find a map somewhere. Billie Lurk wanted poster. Attention, facility management at Adamire Institute have initiated a voluntary recall on Adamire solution due to potential adverse side effects. Citizens are urged not to consume the recalled product. If you have used Adamire solution in large quantities and have experienced headaches, nausea, rapid changes in mood, or periods of memory loss, you are encouraged to contact the Adamire Institute to arrange an appointment with Dr. Hypatia, free of charge. I wonder what that's about. Let's go in here. Copper wire. The 2 guards down there. They don't seem to be saying much of anything. Hey, wait, come back here.
Whited saw flesh in the streets, whited eyes and tongues, delicious food. Leave them in gutters for us to eat.
Okay, so they don't always have exactly interesting things to say.
Says to find out what the eyeless gang's doing inside the Albarca.
Yeah, I know what they're doing. That place reeks of black magic. You see the people who went in there? Go after them and they'll curse your cod with pus blisters, if you're lucky.
Ah, you and your superstitions. Don't believe all that hocus-pocus crap. A gang's a gang. You should worry more about a knife in the back than some curse.
If you say so. But let's still wait for the reinforcements.
Okay. So he's moving away.
What I wouldn't give for a bottle of pear soda.
That's the 2 of them out of the way. Mission orders from Captain Lejano. Lieutenant, I've received reports of illegal activity in the old Albarca baths, and I suspect the eyeless gang is involved. This could be our chance to finally strike a blow against those degenerate rat-eaters. I want you to scout the area with your squad and gather as much information as you can before then, but don't take any risks. The Dockyard District will send reinforcements for a raid momentarily. Captain Lejano. I'll try to get him further in. There we go. This door is blocked and it has wolfhounds on the other side.
Oh, it's spoiled days, bad days, sick, madness in their lungs, death in their minds. Armies of us in streets and in sewers all feared us. Bite, 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 bite.
Let's get up here. It's a
Could be
bone
gimmick,
charm.
But if they really do use magic, then I need to check it out.
Agile recovery. Yeah, sure. Hide avocet feathers. We'll be rich. Excerpt from a journal. We've been here just a month and I'm making coin hand over fist. It's a dream come true. Sure, it costs to keep that suppressor running, but it's paid for itself 10 times over. Everyone wants to try to fight the brute, all the new folks coming in because they heard we can do a bit of magic, thinking they're the one who will break the brute's record. Ha! They pay for it in coin and teeth. Better them than me. I could kiss the one who led us here and to that magnificent bastard. There's a champion challenge, the Black Magic Brute. 73 wins and 0 forfeits. Now that's probably Daud. There's a safe over there. Conan grapes. Voltaic shot. Coins. key to the apartment. Bathing salts. Now I know the combination to this safe, but let's find the clues for that the correct way, shall we? Okay, so here we are. I'm going to close these windows. And this is the other way up.
I've heard a few things about the eyeless. Some of it's
This is where we
strange.
came from.
None of it good.
Just went through the apartment instead.
Nah, not this time.
Pickpocketing is always useful.
Nah. I'll stick to Duffy's bone charms.
Well,
But this is one of the eyeless.
go away. I trust me, when you're getting carved up like a screaming piglet in the ring, you'll wish you'd tried my ointment.
Another of the eyeless.
A full day's work. Oh, that's a laugh. How would she know what a
Hey,
full
will
day's
you
work
stop
looks
it?
like?
Nope. I'm quite happy pickpocketing you guys. This is the Albarca Baths.
If I see anything, I'll run. No, first I'll yell, then I'll run. You know, to warn.
The dead body in there. Okay, so you went up there. I don't think there is any
What's the rent on time?
easy way for me to take these guys out. The only way I can think of is to actually shoot them from up here. If you're going over there and you don't
I
suspect
should get a
anything,
longer break.
I see no reason to let you live. So dump him in here, since I can't very well go in front of the building. That would be a mistake.
What I wouldn't give to see my new bosses on their knees before Brianna reinvented herself.
Now for the civilian. What building is that? Interesting. That civilian guy usually walks over here. Let's quick save. Since he's a civilian, I don't want to take him out. Let's put him down here. Now the dog's in there. I don't think I want to spend arrows on them just yet. Okay, so you're coming back down. That's good. And I managed to unlock an achievement. I need to pause the recording slow momentarily. I have no idea why I unlocked that achievement, because the achievement I got was hooked, which means that you need to send someone flying 40 meters away using a hook mine. And I definitely didn't use a hook mine. I'm not even sure what would be the point of trying to sweep these streets. It looks absolutely dreadful here.
Tonight, I'm gonna trade in some wages for a bottle of whiskey. Maybe try my luck at dice.
There we go. That means it's just the civilian left. And again, her we won't kill. Instead, we'll put her down here. Is there some... Let's go down here and have a look. Not sure if I can sneak up on those playful little puppies. There are two of them. They are sleeping. I can. That's those out of the way. Health elixir and a few coins. Whispers from the Void Part 3. I think we read those in Dishonored 2 as well. Not that I would start with Part 3 anyways, but I have it in my journal at least. Let's open this latch. And let's take these two fellows inside and put them in here. I think we should be mostly good now. Do you guys have anything of interest to say?
Beings like us, creeping into his nest, sleeping safe under earthen stone, bright with rotten piss. Man came, hush, hush, silver knives, bindings, trapped. His nest lies empty now.
Maybe it's the guy who's lying in there. I don't know. Anyways, I think that this is a good place to end the episode before we go into the actual baths. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all in the next episode.